So, hello there, and welcome back to another Night of the Movies podcast. I'm Spy Knight, and in these podcasts, I love talking all things movies and TV, and whatever I want, whenever I want. And in today's podcast, I'm reviewing Marching Powder. So, let's get into it, shall we? Marching Powder is this new film starring Danny Dyer. Danny Dyer, who I'm not really a fan of. Whenever I watch him in something, I feel like he's playing a character, and I do not enjoy the character he's playing. This sort of cockney, rebellious type person who's always being edgy for the sake of it. I don't really like Danny Dyer, and I haven't really enjoyed him in much that I've seen him in. So you may be sitting there watching or listening to the review today going, why then, Spike? Why did you go and watch this film at the cinema then? And that's a good question, and my simple answer is, I am actually up on Danny Dyer. I like him a bit more after seeing him in the TV show Rivals, which came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. It feels like it came out last year. It may come out this year. I don't know. My head's all over the place. I keep getting mixed up what date it is. But anyway, you get the point I'm making. After seeing Danny Dyer in Rivals, I am up on him because it felt like in Rivals, like he was actually acting. Like he was actually trying, and he showed a different side to, and that TV show showed a different side to him as an actor than I'd seen before, and I really liked him in that show. I liked him far more than I expected to, and because I enjoyed him so much in Rivals, I was hoping to get that same enjoyment out of him when I went to go and watch this film at the cinema. I was hoping to feel the same way about him in this film as I did in Rivals. Plus, I thought that the trailers didn't look awful. I mean, they didn't look great, but they made the film look like it could be quite a bit of fun to watch at the cinema. They made the film like it was going to be really funny as well. So I was hoping, I went into the cinema yesterday hoping to be surprised by this film, hoping for the best, because it's always great to be surprised by a film or TV show, by an actor in a film or TV show, like I was by Danny Dyer in Rivals. And I was hoping to be surprised by him in this film as well. And the IMDb plot synopsis to this film goes as follows. Middle-aged Jack, played by Danny Dyer in this film, arrested for drugs, strives in 6 weeks to repair marriage, curb bullying in law, and guide stepbrother Kenny Boy, but his efforts fail as life spirals out of control. And that's pretty much all you need to know about this film before seeing it. And honestly, I thought this film was okay. It wasn't awful. It wasn't even that bad. I mean, I'll be honest, and if I'm not being honest, what's the point of me doing these views on this channel? I'll be honest, the first 20 minutes of this film I found almost unbearable. Oh God, they were painful. There was so much going on in the first 20 minutes. I was like, I hate everything going on. I am so annoyed by this. Danny Dyer was playing that cockney, rebellious character that he always plays, and I found it infuriating. All the characters surrounding him, they're people that I wouldn't even, cross the road to save. There's those sort of people. It's like, oh my God, everything in the first 20 minutes I just found utterly unbearable. The filmmaking was sloppy. There was this fight sequence where they kept slowing down, they kept putting in slow motion to show that these people are actually getting hurt, and I was like, what am I meant to get from this? And I was watching the first 20 minutes of the film thinking, who is this made for? Who is this made for? Because it's made for like 40-odd year old men who are in a pub, who are probably in a pub going about how their lives have gone to shit. And I'm like, okay, I get that it might be made for them, but in no world are they going to the cinema to watch a film like this. And I was sat there the first 20 minutes thinking, I'm going to hate this. One of the reasons I was thinking I was going to hate this was because of the humour. There was so much humour in the first 20 minutes, which I hated because it just felt like it was being edgy for the sake of being edgy. I don't like when humour's just doing that. When edgy humour works, it's because there's a point to it. But there was no point to the edgy humour. It was like Danny Dyer was appealing to, the manly men of Britain. It just really annoyed me. But about half an hour into the film, things started to change. change. And I'll tell you why they started to change. Because the narrative of Danny Dyer's character, what's he called? Jack. I just looked at the plot synopsis again on my computer that I'm reading my notes off. Yes, by the way, I do plan these reviews. I do have some notes. Regardless of what some people may think, I don't just wing it. I do have some notes. But anyway, the point in which the film started to kind of, I do want to emphasise those words, kind of work for me, is when you see Danny Dyer's character, Jack, try to get his life back on track. Because, to use the phrase that they use in the film, I don't really like this for using this phrase, but I'm going to use it anyway because they use it in the film quite a few times. The character of Jack is a quote-unquote fuck-up. And when he starts to get his life on track, I kind of liked where the film was going. I found it more bearable to watch. And I liked seeing his relationship with other characters in the film. I found his romance with the one who plays his wife to be believable. I thought she was really great in the film. The one who played his wife, Stephanie Leonidas. Apologies if I mispronounced her name there. But she is by far and away the best part of the film. By far and away, because she added a layer to the film that I felt was much needed and wasn't there when she wasn't on screen. And then as the film went on too, you saw a side to Danny Dyer's performance. You saw that side to Danny Dyer's performance that you saw from him in Rivals, and that made me appreciate the film more, or kind of appreciate the film. I still found large parts of the film to be rubbish as it went on, like Danny Dyer's character, Danny Dyer, it's not really a character he's playing. He's not playing a character in the film, he's playing himself, really. But Danny Dyer keeps breaking the fourth wall, and sorry if you can hear some sound interference, I don't know why, but the bin men have decided to come as I'm recording this review today. Literally the time I started to record this review, the bin men have decided to come, so sorry if there's any sound interference right now, but what was the point I'm making? That's it. Danny Dyer, throughout the film, he keeps breaking the fourth wall. He keeps turning to the camera and speaking to us, speaking to the audience, speaking to the viewer, and I found that to be incredibly annoying because it felt like he was trying to get us on this inside joke, but I didn't get the purpose of it. Usually when a character breaks the fourth wall in a film or in a TV show, there's a purpose to it, but there's no purpose to him breaking the fourth wall. It's just meant to be like, hey, look what I'm doing, I'm breaking the fourth wall, oh look at that, oh just look out, look, using a film technique there, using a narrative technique. Why I'm using it, I don't know, but just for the fun of it, I did not like the breaking the fourth wall at all, and I still found all the humour in the film to be, well, most of the humour in the film to be terrible, to be atrocious. There were a couple of moments, and I say couple generously, there were a couple of moments that I found funny. None of the moments were surrounding Danny Dyer's character, now I think about it. I did not find him funny at all. It felt like he was trying to be funny, but the thing is, you can tell when someone's trying to be funny and when they are just being funny. There's a big difference, and Danny Dyer isn't funny in this film. He's trying to be funny, and I found, almost all the comedy in this film to be unbearable because it felt like it was that sort of laddish British comedy that you would probably hear two geezers laughing at in a pub, and I was like, why are you having that in this film? What's the purpose of all that comedy? Because there's no purpose to it, and yet there are large parts of the film which really don't work tonally. It's all over the place. It's a huge mess. It's sloppily made, and it's really not that good of a film. It's nothing special. But I tell you where it surprised me. It surprised me in its narrative about a guy trying to get his life back on track, which I found to be kind of, and again I want to emphasise those words, kind of heartwarming and kind of engaging. It made the film kind of entertaining to watch. And again, I'm using those words kind of because I didn't think the film was that entertaining, and this is not a film that I will probably ever watch again. It really isn't my type of film. But it changed direction about half an hour in, and I didn't mind the film that it was trying to be. It felt like it was trying. The film felt like it was trying. And I liked that it felt like it was trying. But still, yeah, there were so many parts of the film I was just thinking, what is this? Just decide what film you want to be, because this is just such a mishmash of all these different ideas. But there is a bit of a silver lining in there. There was a shining light in this film that did kind of work for me, and that is the main storyline of a guy trying to get his life back on track, which felt, realistic to a point and made for a kind of entertaining but not particularly memorable watch as a whole. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Marching Powder, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because I thought it was okay. Literally, I wouldn't say any more or any less. It was okay. And I feel like I'm being kind there. I feel like I'm being, generous to the film because, whew. Yeah, I thought I was going to hate it in its first 20 minutes. But it got better, Throughout the film, you saw more of a human side to Danny Dyer. It wasn't just playing that cockney, rebellious chap you usually see him play. You actually saw him acting in the film. And I admired that. But still, I don't have a clue what they would go for this film. Because at one point, it's trying to be one film about this guy trying to get his life back on track. But then it's trying to be this film which is appealing to, British lads in a pub on a Saturday night, on a Friday night. I'm like, why? Just decide what film you want to be and keep being that film, But I don't feel this film did that. But it wasn't terrible. It was kind of heartwarming, and I say kind of there. Do you remember those words? Kind of heartwarming and kind of enjoyable. So yeah, not terrible, not bad, but nothing memorable. But still, a little surprising at that. And so, all in all, as what he said, and I was going to say once more in this podcast today, Marching Powder is a 6 out of 10 from me. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's podcast. If you have seen Marching Powder, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching or listening to this podcast. And if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like and subscribe on this video. And look forward to many more videos and many more podcasts coming very, very soon on this channel. As I've already said, thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. And I will see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.